Took a little bit of a break, but we back with it. A couple weeks went by in the NFL season already. We're currently watching Bills Dolphins tied up at 14 up, which I'm not surprised. I mean, I feel like, because we're gonna get into a little bit more with like overreactions and all that stuff, but I feel like it's easy to over assume that being 2-0 is great and being 0-2 is bad. It's the NFL, bro. Like shit like this happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's been some now the statistics is against you if you're 0-2, if you're trying to make the playoffs. Like, yeah. But there's been plenty of 2-0 teams that faltered as well. Like we saw, remember a couple years ago, Jacksonville went 8-3 to start the season, and then they lost the rest of the way and they were leading the division.
Yep.
So anything is possible when it comes to that. But after the first 2 weeks, I mean, what's caught your eye watching these last 2 weeks, or better yet, like what's been a notable, something notable that you did not expect after these last 2 weeks of the NFL season?
I mean, I don't think anything is like blown me away yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cleveland's got a dominant front four. You know what I'm saying? That was expected. I expect the Bears to figure it out at some point, but they're clearly not. Yet. The Lions struggle week one, but they bounced back, great last week. The Dolphins are a walking mess, but like we're also not shocked, right? Like they're playing really good against a divisional opponent. Like they do have talent. And it's not that Mike McDaniels can't coach. He's obviously had a lot of success in the NFL, right? But I think like I said before, like NFL coaches, like they're always gonna their course is gonna run, right? Like they're coming to the end. Tariq is aging. There's confidence being lost in the team, but they're gonna have nights. You know what I'm saying? Like this team could pull it together and make the playoffs. Like that wouldn't like shock me. But
Right.
like I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of the Dolphins, right? So I mean, I would say everything so far through the first 2 weeks for me is like as expected, right? Like nothing's blowing my mind. I think some of the things that are gonna really shock us, I think that's gonna take about 5 more weeks for those things to build up and manifest.
Yeah, 100%. I'm the same. I'm the same type of person. Like for me, the my by Halloween is where I really kind of get a good idea of what I'm seeing. Everything is kind of people are working on these teams are working on their scripts, on their install still. Most of these starters didn't even play it in the preseason. The players that held out, most of them are still catching
Yeah.
up to game speed. So there's a lot of things that, obviously like we're not going to really know much about some of these players and teams just yet. But I think for me, like some of the surprises for me would probably be like, I guess the Colts, because I bet against them twice.
Yeah.
Did not expect them to be this good so far. But again, anything can change week 3, week 4, week 5 for sure. But I don't want to take that away from them. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones is actually,
Yep.
and he's
Yeah.
playing as we expected a top pick to play on a high powered offense. You know what I mean? And you called it out too. Like the passing game was going to be in favor of with Daniel Jones there. You called it. Like it was clear as day. And they finally have a full healthy Jonathan Taylor. I think the last 2 seasons he came in there either unhealthy or disputing a contract situation. So they got him locked in. And I guess the other somewhat of a surprise for me is just the play of Justin Herbert. Like I'm not saying Justin Herbert's a bad quarterback. I got him in the top 10, but I never every year you hear the people say, he has the intangibles, he has the skill set, he's a prototypical build of a quarterback. And if I felt like the Chargers always fell short as with him under the helm, but he looks much different than I expected. And from what they said week one, like, Harbaugh has given them the green light to go. In which this is the league, man. This is how this league is. If your quarterback is not capable of being mobile enough, you're gonna struggle. We saw it on Monday night. Baker Mayfield willed his way to that win. Whatever you want to say about Baker Mayfield, he is like he's giving me those weird Brett Favre vibes. Like he just does shit. He'll throw an interception, but he'll find a way to get you two tugs and run for a couple first downs and put his whole body on the line. Like,
Yeah, Baker's a baller.
yeah.
He's a fun guy, right? Like he's
Mm-hmm.
where he needs to be. He's in Tampa. When Baker smokes a game and they lose, like, we're not shocked. Like that's Baker Mayfield. That's what Baker does. But Baker just a fighter, man. Like
Yeah.
if you're a team in the NFL, and this is how I feel about Baker, and there's other Baker type guys out there. He'd
Mm,
be a great quarterback in the '90s and early 2000s, but
hell
like
yeah.
he's the type of guy like if you got a team that's pretty defensive and you got some offensive weapons and like you're not winning a Super Bowl, but like you want to compete for a divisional title, some upsets. Yeah, man, Baker's like your guy, man.
Yeah.
I don't think the guy's not ever gonna win a Super Bowl. I think we know that, but like the guy can spin it. And
He
he
can ball.
enjoys playing football. Like this guy is not like, for lack of better, he's not soft. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy wants to play football. So like, yeah, man, Baker's A1. And then like, yeah, you were saying about Herbert. Like, so to me with Herbert, like I also think it's just like the emergence of like Quentin Johnson as well too, right? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the emergence of a deep threat definitely opens that offense up a little bit, and he's got a big frame. So when he gets those unders, he can run with the ball. What Herbert with me is like I just need him see him to do it like in some primetime games. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know. I know.
I want to see it. I want to see him to go out. I mean, the Chiefs are 0-2 so far this year, but I want to go see him go beat Buffalo in a primetime game. I want to go see him beat the Ravens in a primetime game. I want to see him actually win in the playoffs. Those things matter. So, I mean, that's where we're at with him. Like, that's like when we talk about that fifth spot, Jalen Hurts kind of gets it despite talent because he's done it. He's won.
Hmm.
Herbert's got to go out there and win. I mean, that's it with me. That's why I was saying, like, it's so
Yeah,
hard
because
to say week
because with
two because
Herbert, he's had already two opportunities where he led a team that gave up big leads. That Jacksonville playoff game was terrible. Like I couldn't believe that. And then I believe what they played Houston last year,
oh, there
and then
goes Josh Allen again.
shit the bed.
No,
Oh,
just
Your your
scrambling,
your
just
your
scrambling. I'm
your
ahead.
your streams.
Damn, I'm sorry, man.
No, no, it's good. That's cool. He's on my fantasy team, so I need him to do his thing.
Oh, you
He's
got
already
Josh
doing his
Allen.
thing.
Is it redraft or dynasty?
Mine is a redraft, but it's a keeper league, so I kept him.
Okay.
Yeah, I like watching JA, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't need him. I don't care if him and Hurts. I mean, he's definitely better than Hurts, in my opinion. Hurts is special for what they do in Philly, but this guy is something else. But speaking of those quarterbacks, we have had some injuries in the league,
Yeah.
and I hate to bring it up, because one of them is one of your favorite players, but it's already week 3 and we're going to see like at least 5 backups playing in the NFL. I don't want to get too much into the injuries, but I think I had an episode of my podcast a couple years ago. I talked about like backup quarterbacks and shit. I think at some point these teams are going to have to end up paying some pretty pennies for some backup quarterbacks. If the quarterbacks, like we just mentioned, are as more mobile now than ever, you have to have a backup quarterback that's willing, who could actually play some ball. Oh, ooh, he almost scored. Oh, you're ahead of me, so you already see that. But you need a quarterback who could back up your guy that's serviceable, and then these guys could. And if you're in college right now, and you play QB, you better be goddamn good at what you're doing because you can make yourself some good money in the league if you just
Josh
are
Allen.
good.
Nah, but sometimes there's some plays that like I watch a guy, not to cut you off, I watch a
Mhm.
guy kind of ease up a little early before the play's over, and it's like, well, that's how you get hurt, brother.
Oh, he was
Especially
beating
on the
us.
goal line. Yeah, you'll see. Like he didn't get hurt, but like that's how you get hurt.
Yeah. Well, that
Like
was him early in his career. He would do stupid shit like that all the time. I'll never forget. There was a game against the Pats. I think it was his rookie year or his second year where he was second guessing whether he needs to run or he should just dump it off. And then he got cracked by somebody on the Pats defense and he got a concussion. Like,
yeah.
it's one of those things, like, you just got to make that quick decision. I mean, he's a great quarterback and he usually does make great, great quick decisions. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, I just saw the play too.
Yeah, you gotta
Jesus,
be.
Miami's shooting themselves in the foot. But yeah, but Burrow is the big name right now with the injury, and I mean, I guess I low key jinxed it when we talked about. You're like, hold up, don't say nothing yet. Him finally going to a season healthy, but
Yeah,
it sucks.
man. I think it's a combination of shit. Like, I mean, offensively, I think these teams are gonna need to start to look at some of the things, and it's easier said from here than there because it's the NFL. Like, it's the best of the best. But if you're probably more athletic, truthfully, you probably end up playing the defensive line than the offensive line, and so it's just a tall task. But like, I don't know, man. Like, Brady wasn't getting fucked up like this, so like that whole like pocket passer shit. Like I think I read homeboy from the Rant that used to play for the Rant. He played for the Bengals too, and he was like, "Well, we got to look at Joe Burrow's style of play." And it's like, yeah, like what do you want him to give himself up more? Like, yeah, that makes more sense. But like every single year, that O line ranks worse in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I was watching the game with somebody, and I was literally talking to him, and I was like, "Yo, like, I know this sounds crazy." I was like, "But you ever think like maybe the Bengals should have drafted like Penei Sewell instead of like Jamar Chase?" And like the reason I say that is like, listen, receivers are a dime a dozen, and I think Jamar Chase is A1. He could be the best receiver in the league. I also think the big difference between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson is Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a QB that can feed you 15 times because he's that accurate. I don't think you need an elite wide receiver to win a Super Bowl. I think you need a wide receiver that
And I agree with you. I've always
yeah.
said this to people, like, you don't need like, yes, the Eagles won with two pretty damn good wide receivers, but how much were they aside? I mean, that was the one game Jalen Hurts really went crazy for, like, I think 300 yards again.
But that was
But
all man. It was all man coverage, and they
right,
didn't. They lined up to shut down the run, and their defense. Like I said when we were talking about that game, kudos to Jalen Hurts. Like, and he won a Super Bowl, but the pressure was never on. The first time that there was any level of pressure, Hurts threw an interception.
right.
But the Chiefs just never could put any level of pressure. Like when you play football, like a lot of people, I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. A lot of people ain't played football the way they think they play football, right?
Hmm.
So when you play
A lot
football,
of casuals.
it could be, and I think about it all the time. You score a touchdown or you don't score a touchdown. Ultimately, how the other team responds affects your next drive because when a team doesn't score, there's not a lot of pressure. But when a team scores, it's like, fuck, bro, we better go put some points on the board. We're going to be down 14.
Hmm.
They scored again. If we don't put some points on the board, we're going to be down 21. Or you do
Exactly.
match it, and then you start to get later in the game, and it's like, well, we can't fall behind. We got to get this. So there was never that level of pressure on Hurts. And I think the early pressure Hurts did mess up, but then there wasn't pressure, battle back. It is what it is. But so, like, to me, like, like when you're like yeah, man, it's tough, dog. And I think in terms of that, like there just wasn't, like I said, all the power to Hurts. I think if we give the fifth spot to anybody, it should go to Jalen Hurts. But I
Yeah.
think that spot can move interchangeably just because I think there's levels. Like he's not the one carrying that offense. The way I would say Burrow,
Hmm.
Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is. And Hurts does have some great moments, but
Yeah. He's a
I,
winner. We know he's a winner,
yeah.
and you could only respect that. I mean, it's a very unconventional type of football in the modern day that they play in Philly. And they can switch it on to be a passing team. They can. They just
Hmm.
don't need to, which is respectable. And to go back on the Burrow situation, like, yeah, you gotta blame the Brown ownership. They always find a way to be cheap. They did make some attempts, but then the guys they picked up were just either hurt or just not ready. And then you have your franchise quarterback behind that. Like for example, Dak Prescott was blessed with Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Fredrickson as center. If you have three out of your five linemen competent, you're good to go. But if
Yeah.
you only have one lineman that's doing a job of five, it's hard, man. It's not easy. And then when you have a franchise guy
And
like
but
that who's a good pocket passer, it makes it tough.
And what sucks is like I thought during preseason they were getting under center more. I thought there was about to be change in the offense because I know like I'll use Tom Brady as an example. And some of it probably is on Burrow. And this is where I kind of could agree again, kind of with like, well, Burrow's style of play. Like, yeah, bro, you might not be able to play from the gun like that. When you get under center, sometimes you can move the pocket, you can set up in different spots. That might help the offensive line. That might help certain situations. Because Brady, I know, was always big on interior linemen. That's where you hit Brady best. It wasn't from the edge rushers, it's from the interior of the pocket. That is where you'd mess Brady up. You'd get him uncomfortable where he couldn't step up in the pocket. And then he like bigger backs that could help be in protection. I
Yeah.
think they need to look at like for Burrow, like they need to look at ways to keep him upright. Like to me, yeah, I'm biased, but this is gonna be utterly crazy if we have another Andrew Luck situation. You know, like
Mm,
I don't want to see something like this. A guy like Burrow needs to be in the playoffs. Like this is going to be an atrocity if we can't get this right. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, like this is a guy that should be able to play into his mid to late 30s. Like this is
yeah.
not a guy that depends on running. You know, but this guy is just getting destroyed. You know, just destroyed. Um, and to what you were saying, like yeah, on the Brown family, but like to me, man, like this is on Zach Taylor, man, and like
Oh,
it's on Zach Taylor, and like what sucks about it is when guys were calling for his job last year, like I want all coaches to be successful. So I was hoping like Joe Burrow could save his job. But like you listen to his press conference and it's like well like these things happen in football and he does say like it's on me, but it's like, you know, close reading is an important skill. Like, well listen to what he said 5 minutes before that, man. Like no dog, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Joe wants two Bugattis. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have moved on from T. Higgins and got yourself more wide receivers.
hmm.
Icy Boss isn't bad. Like there's other guys that are out there. I've seen Joe tear it up. I think that what game was it last year with T. Higgins was out? They went like three tight ends all game, and Joe tore it up. So like I know they can do it, and like build your team to keep the guy healthy. Like
Yeah.
you should feel disgusted as a head football coach, and he's the play caller that your star quarterback who puts up Hall of Fame numbers every other year he's out with a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
Like,
I,
bro, that's
I
on
hear,
you.
I hear you.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
Figure it out, bro.
the T Higgins thing was very interesting because they could have absolutely traded him for a second rounder somewhere, and he would have got his bread regardless. But
It's
he vouched for T, and then they didn't really make any decision. They didn't really try to budge.
and
You
it
know what
and
I'm saying?
it's tough, bro. I was excited for T and Jamar Chase. I think you should keep
Absolutely.
them. But bro, if the offense like even before he got hurt, bro, it just didn't look good. There was a lot of dancing and shaking in the pocket, bro. Like there's just so much stuff. Like he just always you know, I guess the Browns game you shrug it off because it's Myles Garrett in them, but like at a certain level, it's just like, bro, who's scouting these guys? Like who's signing off on these offensive linemen? I don't care what
GM over there.
I don't care what Orlando Brown did for the Ravens. Like, does he fit your scheme? Like,
Shit,
can
no,
he do
they
the things that you're
actually
asking your offensive
they
lineman to
stole
do?
they stole Orlando Brown from the Chiefs.
You're right. You got him the Chiefs, but he from before the Chiefs, my fault. He came from the Ravens.
So they tried. They got Orlando Brown. Then they got freaking. At one point, they went with Trent Brown. That didn't work, obviously.
Yep.
And then they went and got what's his name? That went back to Dallas. What's his fucking name? Collins. They ended up with those tackles, and none of those guys panned out, man. Like it's just like I don't know. Maybe like you said, maybe is the scheme that they play in that doesn't fit those tackles. Like you said, why? Who's making the evaluations here?
You got it. It makes sense. Like I think, yeah, it's something I want. I really ain't paid a ton. I haven't paid a ton of attention to it. But after that comment and Burrow getting hurt, it definitely makes me think more. Like I've known the offensive line has been trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as a coach, I can tell you, you know, sometimes when you put a guy in the gun, like you're just, you know, you're just asking for the ears to get pinned back and come after him. It's not always the most favorable run angles, but Joe does typically get the ball out early. But, you know, you got to probably look at the plays in which they're not getting the ball out early and like what's going on because, like, you know, like
You know who those Bengals need? They need Matt LaFleur over there.
Matt. Yeah, yeah, honestly.
For whatever it's worth, even when he had Aaron Rodgers, he figured a way to make his quarterback stay upright
No,
at
no, you
all
know,
times. Because that offensive line is overrated. Those guys are not really. I mean, Zach Tom is good. I like Zach
well,
Tom, but they're not really that good.
Well, they're not going to get Matt LaFleur, but you know what? Maybe they get Mike McDaniels.
As an offensive coordinator,
Fuck it, the head coach at this point. Like, Zach Taylor's done, bro. Like, he's
that would
done.
be kind of crazy because McDaniels is a fucking offensive
He
nerd.
knows ball. Like,
He knows
he ran
ball,
his,
man.
he ran his course in Miami. It's over, bro. It's over.
He could be kind of cringe to some people, but he's just a nerd about football.
If I'm the
He loves it.
Browns, Joe Burrow is everything that matters to me. I'm
Hmm.
firing Zach Taylor at the end of this season. We're done. We're going different ways. I'm hiring an offensive minded coach, and I'm literally going figure out, or you know what, better yet, maybe you hire a defensive minded coach, right? But what you tell him is your job is to keep Joe Burrow upright. All these blitzes, all these things that are coming after him, you need to make sure this guy stays upright.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be real with you. Joe Burrow being like, that just sucks.
Three,
That
three
just
fucking,
sucks.
three fucking. I've had turf toe before. I would have never thought it would have been that severe.
The
Oh my
worst
god.
case. The
He
worst
has the
case.
worst one out of all
Tore,
people.
tore ligaments in his fucking. It's the worst.
It's the yo. And, who did they say? They said this was the same one that Pat had. Pat Mahomes.
I believe it.
It was the same one. The same injury he had before that Super Bowl. He got spanked by the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yep.
But of course, Pat Mahomes was not going to make no excuse. He went out there and that was the Super Bowl. But
I
this,
think what it is it's so rare. What Burrow got is rare. Most people get grade 1, grade 2. He got grade 3, which is like a complete tear of the ligaments.
oh gosh. Well, it is definitely a bummer that he got that. Now we got Jake Browning, one of many backups. We got a Carson Wentz sighting popping up this weekend.
Yeah.
Potentially another Mariota sighting potentially this weekend. I'm trying to think. There's somebody else. There's some other
Listen,
backups.
if I was the Bengals, this is what I would do. I'm going one or two directions. I'm gonna go get Jameis Winston, and it's gonna be a show. Gonna be a show.
He go crazy on that offense, to be honest.
Yep. I think you could obviously go figure out to try to work something out and get Derek Carr. I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world.
Hmm.
Go get Shador, Go get Shador.
If you want to develop him, I'm sure.
Go get Shador. Let him play. Trade him next year once Burrow's back.
Get his clout up.
Why
I
not?
mean, but they say he might be back early December though. That's the best case scenario. They said,
I
bro.
think that's too. Like, listen, I'm hopeful. I think they're 2-0, right? So they only got to probably win 4 or 5 games over the next 10 games. They got to go about 50%. They should.
Hmm.
They could do that.
And they paid Browning some good backup money, so they have to feel confident that he'll do something.
I just think it's. Yeah, I don't know, man. You just gotta have arm talent, man. Like you're throwing to T Higgins and Jamar Chase. Like you gotta have arm talent.
He has good rapport with both of them, though. That's that I can say.
I don't know, bro. I watched him throw like 15 bubble screens on Sunday in the second half and 3 interceptions.
I'm trying
Like
so hard to make you feel so convinced on him right
there's
now.
nothing that makes me feel good about it, man. The only thing that I'm hopeful about is just like the way they won that game is there's just so many bad quarterbacks in the NFL, like Trevor Lawrence. It's just like, yo, they'll give you the ball back too.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that was part of the reason why they actually won that game because Trevor Lawrence
Oh,
played like
yeah,
shit.
Warren Sapp posted some crazy message. It's like, bro, stop with your false narratives, dog. I get it, bro. We all like clickbait, but it's like, bro, tell the truth, dog. Like, bro, like it was not Jake Browning having some crazy game, bro. Like your stats are misleading. Like, bro, how do you ignore the fact the guy threw 3 interceptions? How do you ignore the fact that so did the other guy on the other side of the field? Like yeah, they won, bro, but like not all wins are the same. That win was
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's why you don't. That's why you don't. I mean, that's why you got to actually watch with the naked eye what's going on. That's why some of us watch these games much differently than others. Some people just see a stat, they see a few highlights, they're like, oh well, he did this. Well, he hung in there.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. People are watching their fantasy squad, bro.
Yeah,
I had someone in my fantasy group chat jump in was like, "Yo, Browning tore it up." It's like, bro, you really just ignored the fact that he threw 3 interceptions. Well, those interceptions don't mean anything in fantasy. It's like, bro, come on, dog. See, that's the problem, bro.
that's the world we live in, man. Like,
And I love fantasy, bro. I think it's good. Like, yeah, if that's what you're saying, but like, bro, we're talking about the actual team, dog.
yeah, people don't watch football like that at all. They just like, wait, did he catch the ball for my fantasy team? They only care about that, and they think because they had 10 points in fantasy that they were balling out. Like, bro, you must have not seen the drop passes or the missed throw or the fumble or you know what I'm saying, the lack of effort. Like, there's certain things you could watch and nitpick on when you watch football a certain way. And I wish I had all 22. I don't want to pay for that shit.
All 22 be crazy. If you're lucky to have that type of stuff. Damn, I'm heated, bro. Not to cut you off too. I was planning a vacation to go to the Bengals game before Thanksgiving when the Patriots are going there, and then I was planning to watch the Bengals when they went to Buffalo. But not now.
That's not happening. You're not gonna spend that money. Hell no.
No, I'm not paying to go watch Jake Browning, bro. I watch it at home. I'm still gonna watch the Bengals go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going on a trip for no damn whatever.
But yeah, so the Bengals are 2-0. We're gonna play a quick game. I'm gonna shoot them at you, and you tell me. I'm gonna give you my answer, but it's a over. The game is overreaction or reaction. So I'm gonna give you probably it's a couple topics, and you tell me if it's an overreaction or you're gonna react to it. Like it's a reaction in the sense of like it's notable to react to. So we got few teams that are still 2-0. The Bills, obviously, who are playing now. Bengals leading the division. Indianapolis Colts, the Chargers, Philly, Green Bay, Tampa, San Francisco, Arizona, and Rams. Being that those teams I just mentioned, who of those teams that you see are going to make a long run to the playoffs? And I mean, when I say this, like, do you feel like that's an overreaction on feel of the feel of these teams are going to make a playoff run, or do you think that's a good reaction to have?
I mean, they all stay healthy. I mean, I wouldn't see any reason why the Eagles and Bills are not gonna stay on their path. Green Bay looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. I would say I believe in what they're doing so far. So barring no injury, like I think I got someone on my team. Who do they play this Sunday?
They play Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland, right? So I'm not that excited. I think I got Dylan Sampson, so I'm like, damn. Green Bay's defense kind of been eating, and they spreading the ball out. So I think Green Bay will be successful. I don't believe in the Bucks. I don't at all. The Colts, I don't know, man. Like the team is super talented. I guess it really just comes down to like Daniel Jones, right? He's just starting to prove again and win our confidence back that he's an NFL starting quarterback.
Yeah,
That doesn't necessarily mean he's a guy that can make a playoff run. The
exactly.
Chargers, I expect to very much be competing for first place. I just don't know. Like we're gonna find out what they're really made of in the playoffs. And
Hmm.
the playoffs will be weird, like we talked about. Like if the Bengals get in, Joe Burrow's probably back. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure the Chiefs will have Rasheed Rice. I don't know if Xavier Worthy will be healthy by the end of the season, but they're gonna be good. It's so hard to say, but I would say I definitely believe in at least what you said: Green Bay, Buffalo.
What about those NFC West teams that I mentioned? There's three that's 2-0. Do you feel that's
Yes,
an overreaction that
it's
these teams would be even competitive at some
so
point?
it's well, have they played each other yet?
No, because since they're yeah, and they tend to fight each other pretty well.
And one of them played the Panthers. Like the Cardinals played the Panthers already.
Yeah, and they played no the Cardinals actually played the Panthers and the Saints.
Well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. So I would love to say like I mean I think the Rams will be there at the end of the day. Like the Rams have talent. They're old, but they have talent. They're well coached. And it's the same way I feel about the 49ers. But the 49ers are already getting bit by the injury bug. You know what I'm saying? Like CMC already was on questionable for a period of time. Kittle already pulled his hamstring. Jennings is banged up. We don't know what Ayuk's gonna be like. Purdy's out. You know
Purdy
what I'm
might not
saying?
play this week, so Mac Jones might get another rep.
Yep. So I mean, I don't know. We gonna find out. I don't know necessarily if I don't know. I believe in the 49ers. I just think they're getting really old at this point.
So with all that being said, we have some 0-2s. There's some obvious 0-2s like the Saints, Panthers, Giants, and Tennessee Titans, and I guess you could say and the Browns. But then there's the notable ones like, well, we could say the Jets as well. But there's some notable ones like Miami, Kansas City, Chicago Bears, however you want to cut it. It's notable because they spend a lot of money in the Houston Texans. Out of those teams I just mentioned, would it be an overreaction to assume they're not going to make the playoffs or be competitive this year?
Chiefs again in the playoffs. That's without a doubt. Like I'm not
I don't doubt that either. Yeah.
uh
Like when was the last time Andy Reid missed the playoff?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, could it happen for sure? I mean, shit, they'd probably love it. They'd reload on some young ass talent and bounce back the year after. But nah, I don't see that. But I also the Chiefs are gonna fall off at some point. Like this is gonna happen, and it doesn't necessarily like
Of
people
course.
understand falling off for the Chiefs is gonna be like 9-8, 10-7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's what the Patriots when they fell
Yeah.
off, they'd be like 12-5, 12-4, whatever it was. They
They'll,
wouldn't.
they'll look like
They,
they'll look like that first year that Brady came back from his ACL.
yeah,
They were 11 and whatever, 11
yeah.
and 5 or whatever. Like, made the playoffs, still won the divisions. Maybe I think they even made it to a divisional round. Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree. For me, I'm not gonna overreact about the Chiefs. I'm not gonna overreact about Houston. I think Houston has the defense to keep up with teams. They lost some close ones. Those two games they lost, those are playoff teams they lost to.
Yep.
They just got to figure out that offensive line. Yeah, I'm not gonna overreact about those two teams. Everybody else, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna react and say, yeah, they're gonna be just that bad.
Yeah, no.
They gotta be bad teams. That's just how it works. There's 30,
I
20
think
plus
I
teams.
think Cleveland's gonna hit a stride this year, though.
Well, they
I think that's a very good defense, and they have a lot of young players
yeah,
that are good.
and Judkins is gonna
Junkins, Sampson, Fannin. They still have Judy on that team.
yeah. They
You
got
know what I'm
Jerry Judy.
saying? They'll use Joe Flacco for a while to get that thing going in order. So I think Cleveland will work its way closer to 500. I really do think so. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
make the playoffs. Hell no, because they're gonna have three other teams that they can't,
they can't beat.
deal with.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what's gonna hurt Cleveland is that they're in that division, man. That's a gauntlet. You they're gonna it's gonna they compete well with that division. They're rivals though.
they
That's the
do.
thing. Good whether they have good seasons or bad seasons, they always compete.
Yep.
And so yeah, those are the 0 and 2s. But is it an overreaction or are we reacting properly when it comes to the Colts right now and the Dolphins?
No, Dolphins are done. Dolphins are done. Like
So
they
that's
can
that's a
make
proper reaction to have.
no, they can make you have a players meeting with no coach. What the fuck's coming out of that?
After week one.
What do you think's coming from that? Listen, they're gonna probably lose the Buffalo tonight, and it's gonna get worse because they're gonna be 0-3. Because even though you're losing a Buffalo, it's like, well, bro, how many more games can you lose? So they're gonna implode. It's only sooner or later. The Colts, like, they're super talented. I just don't, I don't think Daniel Jones is a Super Bowl winning QB.
Yeah.
Like, if he was, well, the Giants would have looked better. I understand the Giants were bereft of talent, but when you literally look like you can't play the quarterback position in the NFL, it's because some of that's on you. Now, that's okay. Not everyone's an elite quarterback. So, if what you're telling me is Daniel Jones needs to be around elite talent to be successful, a very good offensive line, a good defense, well, then, yeah, he's like all the other QBs. And, like, yeah, then you want one. He's good at
Yeah.
QB, but he's not elite. I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl without an elite quarterback or a guy that's like very close to there. Either than that, then everything's got to go right. Like maybe they'll tournament, he'll run more. I mean, he does have like three. I mean, I
Yeah.
know there's QB
I
sneaks.
think once they start unleashing that offense even looks more crazy. But yeah, I agree with you. Like the Dolphins, I'm not gonna completely overreact on I'm gonna be on the side of more of an overreaction than anything. It's never good to be 0-2. Yes, the players meeting is kind of a bad look. They have the veterans. I think once they scrub out the nonsense, like the Tyreek Hills and they already got rid. I think there was a report today about Ramsey before he left. Like that was being a little toxic. Like when you get rid of the toxicity, and there's a report also stating that the GM and Mike McDaniel's might be safe whether they go to the playoffs or not. But all that tells me is this: the owner believes that if this shit is tanking, we'll take the tank, but we're gonna get rid of some motherfuckers because we don't need them.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
sure. I mean, if you're gonna blow
Like
this thing up,
Bradley Chubb, like
yeah,
Tyreek Hill, like they would rather invest in Waddle if Tua's long term for them. Keep Tua. They have A Chain,
they
like
got Ollie Gordon in the game. I want to see
Ollie
some.
Gordon. Like they have some. They draft well. They just don't keep their draft picks. So they have to figure that out. And if it's anything, I'd rather get rid of that GM first before I get up.
There
Not
he
even get rid of
goes.
who is it?
Oh, he look good, man. That
A
boy's
Chain
strong.
Gordon?
Yeah.
No, he's
They
nice.
had him. They had his leg wrapped up in the backfield. He just broke free.
He was nasty a couple years ago for Oklahoma State.
I'm hit.
And
Yo,
that's
you
the
know who he?
craziest thing that he was like a fifth round pick this year because he didn't have a
Listen,
good season last year.
he reminds me of somebody, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He's not him, but he reminds me of somebody.
Arian Foster.
No, He's still a current player in the NFL. Derrick Henry, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Look at his size, bro. Ooh, he just got lit up. The problem with Ollie Gordon, you can't be having him run sideways, bro.
Yeah, he's a
He's
north
like
and south guy.
he's like 230.
Yeah, he's a
Bro, he's a
big
big
motherfucker.
dude.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's not as big as Derek and he's not as good as Derek, and that's never gonna happen. But bro, when he starts to get his legs going, like they got him running wide zone right here. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why is Ollie Gordon running wide
Oh,
zone?
and not only that, he was tired as hell. I can see him like he's in his stance. He's like breathing heavily. Yeah,
Like
bail
Ollie
him out.
Gordon
Bail
is
him
a
out. Yeah,
Ollie
yeah,
Gordon is a downhill runner, bro. Like
yeah.
bringing him in.
He complements A Chain very well. You could have both of them out there at the same time
But
because
that's
they
what
think
tough
catching the
is.
ball.
Is McDaniels is a wide. He's a wide zone guy, right? A lot of those Shanahan guys love wide zone.
Yep.
So, well, you can't run that with Ollie Gordon. Like, you need to run some power or counter or IZ or duo. It's got to be something more downhill. And if you are running some type of run, like it's probably more mid zone because the guy needs to cut it back quickly. Like,
No
you
lie,
don't.
that play that they just ran, that's kind of fire.
Which one?
Where Tua kind of like went like it wasn't even like a bootleg or anything. He just kind of like speed to the right a little bit, and the
Oh,
tight
yeah.
end everybody kind of spelled to the right, and he threw it to the tight end.
Yeah, it's always so hard to gauge with those plays. Like, are they an RPO or is it a boot? You never know.
But that's why they got the flag because it was kind of an RPO,
So
but the
yeah,
guy
if
was
if they got a flag, my guess would be that it was an RPO.
yep, it was definitely RPO because the lineman was like 10 yards up the field.
Yeah.
Fucked up the play. But yeah, last but not least, I'm not gonna even make it. I'm gonna be better with this game. But tush push.
It's got to go. I was already talking about it today. It's got to go. It's not a football play anymore. Like that
Listen,
shit was. It was so cool a few years ago because it was innovative. You
mhm.
took QB sneak to a whole nother level, but it's actually stupid at this point. Like, bro, if you have to get down on all fours and bury into the fucking turf to push and pull your quarterback over the first, like that's not football anymore, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
I'm
doing?
dead.
And they're jumping off sides half the time. Like the play's not a football play. I had someone tell me today was like, what did they say to me? Someone said some crazy. I'm not gonna go back on my phone and look at it,
You
but it
just
was
mad
something
because you
like,
can't stop it. You just mad because you can't stop it.
no, they didn't even say that. It was kind of like, well, how are you gonna ban it? It's like, bro, the same way they banned headhunting, the same way they banned going low on players, the same way they banned a hip drop, the same way they banned certain things. Like, yo, you can make certain things illegal. It's
Yeah.
just not a football play. Like, don't get me wrong, many things can be true. The Eagles, they had a great run with it. They run it better than anybody in the world. They have the personnel to
They
run it.
could they could change it to something completely different.
But in general, bro, run a regular QB sneak, bro. Like, I don't want to see teams getting into weird formations that aren't realistic to just bury forward. And it's mad hard to not jump off sides versus the play.
And you know what's crazy? Out of everything, college, not even college football runs this play. And college football runs all types of play. We're talking about
Yeah.
veer, split backs. They do any type of formation you could think about for running. They do that in like who's it? Navy and Army. They play like the triple option. That's still a thing. Georgia Tech was known to be a triple option program.
But see,
They don't do that no more. But like
but that's the thing, bro. Is that type of play is not picking you. So like you see QB sneaks all the time, right? Like a
mhm.
traditional QB sneak, you'll occasionally have a quarterback pop it for 50 yards
Yeah,
because they fit it wrong. There is no way to fit a tuck tush push. Everyone is diving into the floor. You're just fighting for inches, which like in theory sounds so dope, but in today's football, bro, it's just like no. It doesn't make any sense, bro. You should have to drive your guy backwards in open space. Like the whole like bury into the floor, push the QB, pull. It's like, nah, bro. Like, dog, when Chris Jones is laying sideways to try to really stop this play, it's just like it's ridiculous, bro. They're
that reminds me of the Super Bowl when he was like pushed sideways. He was like his helmet was coming off. He was like, "This is fucking annoying."
bro. It's
But
just
you know
it's just
what?
not football.
Here's my piece about that shit. And a lot of people will start coming at me because I'm a Packers fan, and they're like, "Well, because your team was like." They brought it to the forefront as a vote to vote against it, or whatever. I was like, dude, they were voting against it. The teams were voting against it the year before.
Yeah.
This
It's
was a
done this
part of
year.
discussion every year, and it's gonna be gone because they were only missing 2 votes. So
Yep.
that means
It's done after this year for sure.
yeah,
It's a
now
hundred.
that is becoming an issue with the whole, going off sides, and then of course they missed out on a potential turnover opportunity because they can't see nothing in that mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, I get you have Saquon Barkley, you have other ways you could get that 1 yard, and this is you run that play 7 fucking
Listen,
times, and we're
Jalen
talking.
Hurts is still probably get. I'm gonna be honest with you. Jalen Hurts is still probably getting a first down on a basic QB sneak.
I agree with
But
you.
make them do it the basic way. Like
Hey,
the tush push
yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah, get
It's
that
got
shit out of like the same people who hated when they did the Wildcat back in the day are the same
yep.
ones like justifying this play. Because you're just mad because they're not stopping it. Or you're just mad because your team is no, because I verbatim I said before the season I was like I don't really want them to ban it. I think they're the best at it, but I think it's stupid. I think
Yeah,
it's
nah.
not a play. It's not a football play. Like dog,
I think we were
this ain't
all
that
hope.
shit.
I think we were all hopeful for it, but to me, it's just not a football play. It's something else, bro. It's something totally
Yeah.
different because anytime the Eagles get down to 3rd and 2, they're gonna get the 2 plays to get the first down. They're gonna get it every time.
Seriously, it's frustrating to watch. I thought watching that I think that took away from the Chiefs Eagles game is that they ran it 7 times. Like, are we really watching real football right now?
No,
That's not real. That's not real. Good for them. Oh, we're the best
the
at doing it.
A
Great.
chains that play right there is why A chain's a good mid zone wide zone runner. Like he does a
Must.
good job. He does a great job cutting it back.
Yeah, he's nice. I'll tell you what, the Pats definitely got lucky he stepped out of bounds because he was to the crib. He was to the motherfucking crib. That would have been demoralizing in New England. No bullshit.
But I do. They got to find a way to get Ollie in more, man. Like A Chain is not gonna survive these hits. It's fucking week 3.
Well, he's also other than Tua, he's also prone to those concussions because he's had several already in his career, and he's a smaller back. He's just too
Nah,
small.
you just tiny, bro. You get thrown around, dog. It's not a joke.
He's not Bijan Robinson where he looks small but he packs a punch. He's a fleet-footed guy. Um, we're just gonna
Touchdown to Reek Hill.
Tyreek.
Oh my
So I
god.
was I was gonna I was gonna go into like predictions of week 3, but I think I'm gonna park that for another time. I want the month of September to go by so we have a
Yeah,
better idea of what this looks like. But before I let you go, how do you feel like? Did you watch Monday Night Football,
yeah,
or at least the second one, the second game?
yeah. I watched the Chargers one.
Okay, so how'd you feel about the whole Brady situation?
I don't know, man. Like it's obviously a conflict of interest, but
Beyond
he's
obvious.
fucking Tom Brady. Like, what do you want to do, bro? Like he moves the sport forward. Like,
Yeah, he's a football nut. Like he's a nerd. He is obsessed with football, bro. To take that away from him to be all involved as a minority owner, and then on top of that, his paycheck is the reason why that he got an opportunity to be a minority owner.
yeah.
Like,
And the Raiders suck. So like just watch this thing closely and when the Raiders get semi-competitive, get them up out of here. Like I
but
don't know, man.
but but to cite, I like listening to PFT Live with Mike Florio. I
Yep.
respect him because although he never played the sport, he has a mindset of like a GM, and
Yep.
he'll call out the NFL right away. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll call out players. He doesn't care who cares about who likes him, who doesn't. He made a great point. What this situation does is takes away Brady's ability to being a very good analyst. Because when you get that job as a commentator, you're not
Yep.
only a commentator, you're an analyst of the sport. Because
Yep.
he throughout the week he has to do radio like interviews and all that stuff because he's analyzing the game. So now
Yep.
that you're analyzing the game and taking those notes from GMs, coaches, players, whatever, to prepare you for the game you're commentating, certain teams are just gonna look at you and bat their eyes like Dora the Explorer and be like, "My brother, I am not giving you shit. You are literally involved with your team on a certain extent. Although we may not be playing you, you still. Who's to say we're not going to see you down the road? Especially if you're in the AFC West or the AFC in general. like you said, it's a conflict of interest. Like I'm happy. I'm always happy for people to get an opportunity to get the job they dream of, right? But he needs at some point he's gonna have to decide, or the NFL's gonna have to decide what it is. Is he
Yep.
gonna be an analyst? Is he gonna be a commentator for Fox, where he's getting 300 M's for 10 years, or is he gonna be a minority owner? One of the and mind you, keep don't forget people. I think people forgot he got stopped from being a minority owner. I think the year before he got it, they blocked him for that. There was a reason for that. Now they were like, oh no, it's fine. He could do it. Is it Goodell like saying, I'm just gonna turn a blind eye because I suspended you. We're gonna be buddies now. We cool, whatever. Like I don't understand that situation. That's just a
Listen,
weird situation, you.
if LeBron James wants to announce basketball games and open an expansion team, let it
He'll do it.
happen, man. Some people are just bigger than the sport, man. Guys like me don't want to ever see Tom Brady go away. I love the same way I feel about hearing Tony Romo call a game is the same way I feel about Tom Brady call a game. I'm sure a lot of big time basketball people feel it. It's tough. People gotta like I get the conflict of interest stuff, and for sure you gotta watch it closely. But I think sometimes, man, what's what do we used to say back in the Madden tries? The betterment. The betterment, man. I just think having Tom Brady involved is the betterment, man. His
Yeah, yeah. No,
insight,
it's good for football for sure.
his
Absolutely.
insight to the game is like no other, man. So it's like, why take that away, man? For a football junkie, like
It's just like the NBC getting Michael Jordan on board finally. Who would have thought Michael Jordan would want to do anything that's NBA analyst esque at
yep.
all? People are going to be tuning into the NBC because of Michael Jordan.
Is that what
They
Michael's
tune in.
doing?
Yeah, he's like he's gonna have like a limited role where he's like doing analyst stuff for the NBC's basketball.
That's
So that's
interesting.
pretty. I think that's pretty dope. But that's the reason why a lot of people that's why a lot of people like that TNT's program. You got three former players who have a lot of clout. Charles Barkley is the best of the three, and people tune in for his perspective. Former player, very open minded about how he talks about stuff. Tom Brady's going to be just as good as when it comes to that, but I still find that him being so like, you know what? Maybe it would have been best that nobody told the commentators of that game that that's how involved he is in this shit. If those guys didn't
It
have
was probably an intentional move by some team. Who knows?
exactly, you're probably right. And this ESPN on top of that, ESPN probably they spilled the tea on that because we didn't need to know that shit. I didn't need to know he was in the fucking box
He
up there,
meets with Chip Kelly once a week.
but they did it. They spilled the tea, so now everybody needs to know. But
Yes,
no, I wanted to see how you felt about that because I thought it was pretty funny. Because
I don't care.
when they it was so ironic. Like they panned the camera towards him, and then suddenly he tried to kind of sneak underneath the table, the desk that he was on. Like yo, don't see. I don't want y'all to see that I'm actually involved in this shit. I got the
That's
headset
getting
on.
it's one of those ones where you try to squeeze it and it gets tipped up, but it didn't get picked.
It's interesting how this game is going. I expected it to be a close one anyways.
But see that? See, I'm watching that route. See, the problem is this guy wins off the line, but then when people don't do a good job fighting back against the leverage, it's just very obvious where you're going because you're trying to create so much space so the DB follows it. When you
I think
fight
part
back,
of I think part of it too is Josh Allen was like his eyes were like because you're going against Jack Jones was playing zone.
no, no,
He
I
was
don't.
watching.
He was, but I blame that on the receiver. So the receiver split releases, he gets inside. Good. You got inside release, you're running some type of curl concept. But you got to lean back into the DB that's now outside you to act like you're fighting to get vertical or back outside. That will give you
He,
more space
he
inside.
he wasn't deceptive enough.
No, he
Like
just
he
got
did.
inside and then he just
Yeah,
kind of
he
like,
went right into that. Like he said fuck everything else. I'm running that route as I think I should be
yeah, you
running it instead
gotta,
of
like
like
I say to kids all the
separating the
time,
two.
bro. As a receiver, bro, you have to give deception. So, like, yeah, you got to release to your spot, but then you got to act like you're trying to get to another spot on the field.
That's why people need to watch that man Devontae Adams. He ain't even running a 4.8 no more. He probably does run a 4.8. I'm lying. He probably runs a
Nah,
4.8.
he's still
But that
blazing, bro.
motherfucker,
He ain't. I mean, he was never fast, but he's still moving.
bro, he's yo, them feet, that's tacticians. That's how a
Yeah, nah,
tactician moves.
he's smart. He's got a good release plan. But that's why development's so important when people be like, oh, the kids are thinking too much. It's like, no, bro. I mean, like, the problem is we oversimplify shit too much, bro. Like, at some point, you got to think. You're going to have to think, bro. You can't just be out here playing football and you're just a robot, dog. Like, nah, bro. You got to have to read and react.
Yep.
Damn, the
So
Bills
that's
got the
mostly
ball
how that's
sack.
what football is all about, man. It's the
Yep.
stop and go, it's the read and react, it's the sense of urgency. What can you do to make the best of the next play? You know what I'm saying? Like what people don't understand about the game of football, and I'm not talking as if I was a professional football player. I played football, whether it be in any level of flag or college or high school, it's the same shit. When you play in a competitive space or you coach it, you understand like this shit is the biggest chess match of your life. It's not like basketball where you could redeem yourself in the defensive end. You have a few plays a time, and maybe how many on average drives that you get as an offense? Maybe 6 or 7. You got to make the best of it. Your mindset should be I'm scoring every drive, whether it be 3 or 7 points. If you come out of there with 0, you just gave that other team an opportunity to match you or do better. So the game of football is not as straightforward as baseball. Baseball, you just gotta hit that motherfucking ball. You gotta pitch that fucking ball. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like basketball where LeBron James could hit a three in one end and then come down the court and then block somebody's shit. He could change the game by himself. You need all 11 guys to change the game together. And God, if the God is
Yeah.
good, you got a fucking blessed, talented quarterback that could do just enough to make you get over that hump. The game of football is the nuance of football is so much different than other sports, man. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah, nah, it is, bro. Ain't no other sport. It's a team sport. I think people need to get over this CTE and how tough the sport is. I think all young men should be playing football, man.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
think
really do.
yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
everyone should. Like there's a spot for it. Like you just go through something. Like yeah, bro. Yeah, you could get hurt. You could break your ankle. Some stuff could happen. But bro, that happens doing almost anything. Like I think it's a really
Right.
good thing for young men, man. Especially in today's society. Like I get it. The world is tough. I think young men would benefit from playing football. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
It is not easy being a man in this world. They
I will
would benefit
never.
from it big time.
I'll always be grateful of my high school football coach. He. For a lot of men in general, like some men who play football, especially in this NFL league,
That was
they
a
didn't have
great play design.
they didn't have a father. The closest thing to a father was that head coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
or
you know what I'm
or or a
saying?
true family,
Or a true
and,
family,
and
like
you're gonna
those
get
guys in
that.
the locker room. Like it comes a long way, man. It makes you. I'm not gonna say it's gonna make you a complete man by the time you're an adult. There's a
Bro,
lot of
we
other
had a.
variables.
I'll leave you with this before we end the night. We had a wholesome moment in practice, man. You love to see it, right? So we got a heavy personnel package, and we got a few injuries this week. We got a few linemen out. So,
Hmm.
basically in this package, like you don't just need 5 offensive linemen, like we're putting a 6 offensive lineman on the field. And there's a sophomore kid. He's kind of big. I don't know how ready he is to play a full varsity game yet. But the head coach is yelling. He's like, we need someone. And yo, he just comes right out, runs right into the spot. A sophomore, man. Like I shed a tear on the inside, man, because it was like, man, this young boy is ready to go to war. He don't really know
Yeah,
what's gonna happen. He hasn't really played a varsity game. This guy's barely JV ready. A couple weeks ago in JV, I think he forgot his cleats, but this kid's going like seeing that, it's like, yeah, this kid's gonna be good. And you could tell all the coaches, man, we were just happy, man. Cause like as a coach, it's like, yeah, we're gonna put people out there, but sometimes it's kind of dope to watch a kid just get out there and just throw himself into the fire.
right.
So
I
this
agree.
kid's gonna get varsity action when we go heavy. Oh,
And that with that being said, with anybody who's watching this or listening to this, if you have a child, a son, or maybe even a daughter who's playing flag or plays some type of football or sport, it shows a lot when you're able to volunteer or better yet, put yourself into that position. Your coach will always will see that and they'll talk about it the whole
yeah.
night, as you can see. Because it comes a long way. It just shows that you want to win just as bad as the coach wants you to win. And
Yep.
your opportunities are right around the corner if you are willing to take that opportunity. So
Yep.
that definitely is a great. I'm sure I felt that too. Like that's a great feeling to see.
Nah,
Like
Darius,
somebody.
Darius was there too, man. We were just clapping, like, let's go! Like it was a fire moment because I think everybody remembers when those that play football, their first, like what got them to their first varsity moment. Like my first
Hmm.
varsity moment was because some kid got suspended at school on Friday, and then another kid got kicked out during the game. So that's how I ended up getting my first varsity moment. So those moments are precious, man. Those moments are special, man. However the hell it happens, it's not like the way the way some people think, like, oh yeah, I won the starting job. It's like usually like, yeah, like you got to step up somehow,
I
and then
agree.
you get it.
I remember my first varsity moment was I was a sophomore. Our best player, he played on both sides, running back and linebacker, middle linebacker. He tore his Achilles. I'm sorry, he tore his ACL against Whitman Hanson. Shout out to Akemba. He tore his ACL, and then that was my moment. Like they put me out there. I was a will linebacker. They put me out there. I don't. I was like that was my first reps, and I was on special teams before that. I had special
Yep.
team reps, but that rep on its own, I was in the big leagues right there. I was like, damn, man, this is it. And the microscope's on you because now you're replacing the best player on the team, and you're not
Yep.
even there. So it's like it's there's a lot of anxiety behind it, but it's a great feeling. It's a grateful feeling as well, and it's dope that you could share that experience because not a lot of people can share. Not a lot of people are truthful about like exactly how they got their career started in high school. But I think I lost you. Nonetheless, it was a great episode. Till next time, we out.